Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to Modded Megaquarium, the Brutal Mode campaign. Thank you very much for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. So between episodes, I've done a lot of the research down here. You can see this is almost finished here. With the science, I've only got the different tanks left here. And then in the ecology, as we know, there's a huge amount of stuff to be able to research in modded here. I'm currently going through the clownfish because I remember these being fairly decent with their prestige talks, and I'm going to get the cardinal fish as well. So there's that one done, and we will next grab, I think, the maroon clownfish as well. So I have realised that there's a fair few people here. One of the biggest things that we have wrong at the moment is there's a lot of people with these boredom markers. And one of the ways we can solve that is to scroll down here and find the data signs. And we can add a few of these in around the area. And these will actually help to solve that problem there. It'll give us a little bit of prestige instead of the kind of bad reputation, or at least neutral reputation you get from the boredom markers. I think basically when they're bored like this, they can't gain any more fun in-game until that boredom is either solved or they're attracted to something that they're not bored with. So their fun counter will tick back down whilst they are bored. So we want to try and keep them bored as little as possible, keep them occupied as much as possible, I should say, really. But anyway, today we're going to be adding a couple more tanks. In quite a special way, I want to use the modular tanks again. So I've re-added that mod back into the game. I took it out because it adds a huge amount to this list over here. It just adds all of these things in, which we found earlier on in the game we couldn't use to their best potential, but I think now we probably can. We can probably use them a lot better than we could before. So that's what I'm going to do today. I really quite like the idea, but I don't know how it's going to end up, but I do like the idea for it. Between episodes as well, we have actually got to a point where we do have an Uber heater and an Uber chiller. So we've got our heating and cooling system sorted at least, but we are still on the Mega double filters instead of the Uber filters there. So I want to try and build up to that as well. We're making a decent amount of money, but not a crazy amount. So today I think I want to try and wrap this here around this road around, basically. And we've actually got a perfect amount of space here to be able to do it. So I want to grab the paint. I want to get the harbourside paint and say that this road is going to come up this way to there, and then this would come around, and I believe that's right. If we go 1, 2, 3, yep. So that's right down to there. And then we can get the tropical beach paint, which we're using at the moment. This may change out. If you have any ideas about what would be better in here, then I'm always up for changing it over. We have a deep outcrop tank. I think we'll go for, this is one we haven't actually used yet, the 3x3 rounded tank. It's only size 72, so it's not huge, but it may actually be quite nice for some of the smaller stuff. So we've got this coming around here. I think the tanks that I want to put in will be back here. And what I want to do is have a central staff area here, which things will kind of pop out of at all different sides. And then we'll have this road going all the way around. I'm going to keep this area as well, but I think for now I'm going to block off down here at least. So we've got some space back here to put stuff, but we're not wasting all of this space for people just to walk around and be bored in. This might be a good area for toilets and various gift shops and stuff. Maybe a couple more tanks, but we'll get that in over time. That gives us a 2 gap here, so we can put stuff at the side there. I think next I want to try and see where we want these tanks and which tanks we actually want in. So we're going to have, it'll be number 3 and number 4, I think. So grab that one out. That's one side of it. And then the next side will be, I think we said number 4. No, that's not the one. So let's have a look again. Is it piece 2 then? Yes, okay. So that's the size of the tank we're going to have. It's going to be 200 in total, but 100 on either side. And we're going to add this in on the back here. So I want to pause the game while I'm doing this so that I can move stuff around. Because we've got our food here at the moment. We're going to need to move this as well slightly. And these. So we'll just put these at the back for now. We'll delete all of these walls. And we'll see exactly where this needs to go into. Because I want it to be there, but one further over. So yeah, this is going to have to move. That's going to have to come down this way a bit more. In fact, it can go all the way, not quite to there, okay. And go to there. And that's pretty much the furthest it can go, unless it bobs over by one. But now we can add these in there, so these two want to move as well. And I'll move this one just so that it's out of the way. In fact, I could actually have this... do I want to do that? Oh, we can't have this one. What? This one won't go there. So do I need to delete these walls and then re-add them in? So if that goes there... Oh, okay. That's a bit weird. So it may actually be better if we can have a one which has got two sides to it. So a corner tank, which would be, let's have a look, not that one. It would be that one there. And then that would go there. So you can see on this side, I actually quite like that. It means we'd have to move these a bit, I suppose. But all of this is actually going to move out the way anyway. So if we take that out, we'll be able to see what this is going to look like now. So we'll do that. And then this side, should this be another one of these as well then? Maybe it should. So we'll go, that was piece 15. So the other side of that would be piece 16 by the looks of it. Yep. And it's actually exactly the right size for that. That's perfect. Okay, so we've got this coming all the way around here. So that means that this roadway will actually want to wrap around at least to here and then maybe jut out. But I think this is where we're going to stop for now, and we'll put that up like that. Just to give us a bit of room around the roadway. It only extends this place out to here, but in this tank we are going to want the stairs and stuff up to a platform to stop that. And then in this, on this side of it here, this wants to be cold water, and on this side of it here, this wants to be warm water. So we are actually going to need 2 pumps on this. So if we scroll down, we've still only got the power pumps for now. So if I put this one here, it can link to this. And then this one's going to have to go somewhere like over here. Again, this is only temporary. Okay, so that's added each of these onto the cold water network here and the warm water network over here. And so now we can actually start filling this. And what I want to add into it is the different types of starfish and the other inverts. So I want this entire tank just to be full of other inverts. So we're going to get, I would say, 2 of each in for now. And we'll see where we're up to then. So I'll just go through. We want 1, 2 of those. Why is this on 0? That is cold water. These are cold. This is connected onto... Oh, right, okay. Because I didn't actually connect it into the tank. Okay. So I'll add that tank in there. And there we go. So that's that done. And make sure with this one, yes, I have added it in. That's good. So now we have the first one's in. The second one's in here. I think the cold water tank's going to fill up a bit quicker, or maybe not, because there's actually 3 different types of these big starfish for this tank over here. And then there are 1, 2 for the warm water of these feather stars. And then 2 of them for the cold water. Okay, so that is all of the stuff needed for that, all of the animals. We do need some, well, a lot of zooplankton. Quite a lot of zooplankton. Because it's going to feed everything in there. And it's really highly skilled as well. So we'll get 1 there. 1 there, and 1 over here as well. Considering this stuff is used to feed the live mysis shrimp and that sort of stuff as well, the zooplankton is in quite high demand. I am going to want to go through my staff as well and make sure the best people are not using, so like let's say, who is the actual best person we have? You're on plus 38. We have 10 feeding here. Severity is plus 62. You're really good. Then we have... Wow, you're the only 2? No. Oh, no. We have Kiki here as well. And you are on plus 42. So we want Verity here to say we don't want you to do any menial jobs. We just want you to feed the really high stuff, and that will be mainly be these, and as we go on it will be more as well. But I think as well we may want to have I was going to say like a dedicated staff, more dedicated staff for feeding. We've actually got a bit of a problem with the staff at the moment in that our staff wages are higher than the entrance tickets, so we are only getting money from the gift shop and the food and drinks. We're not actually making money from the entrance tickets, and we won't be up until rank 9 either. So that is one thing to bear in mind. I hope this is going to be okay. I'm going to let it run on with just the staff that we have and hope that it's enough. If it's not, then I will have to grab some more staff quite fast and just have to work at a loss for a bit. But that shouldn't be too bad. I can afford to run at a loss for a little while anyway. We need to put the vegetation into here, and we can afford to go a little bit crazy with this as well. Because there's a lot of space in here and hardly any needs. So I think if we grab one of these mermaid things, that's going to be too tall, unfortunately. So instead, if we get one of these tall rocks, again is too tall. So if we go for just a rocky overhang, a pitted column with kelp. We haven't had one of those in before. So we'll add one of those in there. and on the other side where it actually needs it, we'll add something else. We do have the live rocks and the live medium rocks as well. Where's the... Oh, do we not have the live medium rocks yet? Apparently not. I think we can add one of these in now. So that'll work as good symmetry for that side. And then on the bottom, we're going to add a few more little rocks around. We're going to have a look at the decor items because we can afford to put something quite large into here. So if we have a net facing that way, we've already got the ancient gates. We can grab the Aztec blocks and add those in there. We can get, say, a skull and add that into the centre there. And anything else, what might be quite nice. The lantern, I think. We'll add the lantern in on this side there. That adds a lot of different stuff around, and I think it would be nice just to add a little bit of foliage in the way of this fanwort just dotted around as well. I think that looks okay. Let's have a look at this from ground level as well. Yeah, I like that. It's not too cluttered on the ground. It allows you to see, and if you come in from this way, God, this is so slow. I forgot how slow you actually walk in this. I might have to increase that in the source code. Let's change the source code to actually increase the walking speed. Right, that tall rock there does actually stick out over, so we may want to change that out. But as you walk around, there's enough to see which is facing in this direction, like the skull, that forces you to walk around to here. There's enough intrigue to make you look around the entire tank, but there's not enough ground clutter to just hide all of this stuff in here, because this needs like open space to be able to see them. They're nice and colourful, so I like the muted background as well. I didn't want to make all the stuff in there too colourful, because I knew that the animals were. So we are going to need some more filtration on the warm water network. Now we do have... It's actually this one. Don't quite like having that one there. When we get all the all the large filters, we'll be able to change this over again and make everything look a lot more nice. But in lieu of that, oh, this is laggy now. I think when you go down to ground level, down to first person mode, and then come back out, it lags the game out a bit. So I may have to do a restart in a minute, but we will see. So if I add this in there, that does actually fix that. And it's only one more machine on the network. So now we are okay to press play again, and we'll go fast forward again as well. I do want to have a look, just before we do play, at the talks and see what's available there. So if we add in, say, 2 talks on this side, it's all none of it is prestige, so it's all either science or ecology, and again at the moment I'm happy to let both of those researches just tick over as we go. We've got enough to be getting on with without that. So I'm going to let this play through just a little bit, make sure this is okay, and make sure our staff are happy to feed all of these things and still have enough time to feed everything else as well. So join me back in a minute once I know this is safe. A few days have passed and it looks like we are actually making decent profit on the prestige on this. So much so that we are actually just now up to a rank 9, which is brilliant. Gives us a lot more stuff we can get, including the canoe, which is going to be really nice, and the medium live rocks. Oh, and also one of my favourite things in the game is this asparagus weed for the decoration. There's also a lot of different stuff there as well, as you can see. But it also gives us stuff like the shark cat shell, so we can actually start making some decent money, and the OJ squeezer, and also one of the most important things, the first thing we're going to research, is the large pump. So yeah, that's really good. We'll come into here, have a look. Oh, now we have 2 more things. Fund the construction. The construction of the whale shark tank is incredibly expensive. You would be wise to invest revenue generating products such as additional gift shops and luxury food and drink. So we want orange juice daily sales, shark cat daily sales, copper band toy daily sales, and popcorn daily sales. And we actually get $10,000 as a reward for that. So yeah, sell stuff, got it. Brilliant. So we've got this to do. We do need to research all of this stuff. But the first thing I am going to do is actually research the large pump here. That is going to be the most important thing from me off there. And we still have more of these starfish growing up in here, so that's good. As you can see, everything's now looking a little bit bigger. The colours are looking a lot more vibrant as well, which is good. And I love the fact that these things swim around like that. The tank looks really alive. And I believe in here now we actually have some more of these feather stars. We have a black feather star here, which is going to be the next one we go for, which we'll add in. And oh, that's it. Okay, so rank 10 we get the next one. And there we go. 2 more of them have grown. So what we're looking at size wise in this, we've got 70 in this one, and we have 62 in this one. So we do have space to expand, which is good. But we are looking a bit low on the redundancy for when things get fixed here. Obviously if we can get a bit more money in per day, then we can start adding the Uber filters to this, and it'll be a lot easier. So I've now got the large pumps sorted, so we can actually start organising this in a bit of a better way. So I think what I want to do is I will delete all of this apart from the Uber chiller and heater. We'll delete that one and that one. We'll add in 2 of these large pumps. We'll add one, so this way, leading to that tank, and one there, leading to this tank. And then we can move that over to there, that over to there, and then we can delete these 2 as well. And I think now it'd probably be best to put these in that way. So this wants to be attached to this tank here, and it also wants to be attached to this one, and it also wants to be attached to this one. And then this tank, this pump here, wants to be attached to this one, and it wants to be attached to this one. However, just before we do that, or just after I suppose, now we do actually want to change this around to be that way. We'll add in these tanks again. So that one and that one. Okay, and so that gives us room on this side to be able to put a couple of these mega double filters, like that, and that's still not enough for the large one, so we'll put a couple of these on as well, just like that. And this means that we're again consolidating down our pump network. We don't have as many of these pumps around, just kind of connected to individual tanks. And it means that we can spread out the network a bit more as well. Once we get a bit further, I'll do similar as I've done in other levels, and especially in the last level of the Freshwater Frenzy campaign. If you haven't watched that series, by the way, that series has now finished, so you can go back and binge watch the entire thing if you want to. It's really, I really did enjoy that, and I'm looking forward to playing modded Freshwater as well once we've finished this level. But we will be adding in, see, like one of these with multiple different filtration around it, and another one with multiple different heating stuff around it. And by the time we get to the mega tank, we're going to need something like that as well, because the mega tank does take a lot of both filtration and heat to be able to use it. So I think we need to have a look at the food and drink in this place now. We have the coffee machines, we have fizzy drinks, and we have the popcorn. I've taken out the chocolate out of here and added in the popcorn there, because that's one of these things. We do now have the orange juice as well, so if we come into here, no, in fact, first of all, let's just pause the game for a second. Let's actually get rid of all of the other drinks things we have, and of course that one as well. And then we'll add in the orange juice there, and there. And we'll add in a couple more popcorn things there and there. And then we want the shark hat shelves. We'll add a couple in on this side. We'll add one in just there. And then when we expand that out, we'll add the other one in. And back here, we will want the shark hat supplies. So we'll add 2 of those in there. And this should hopefully complete this, because the only food and drink now that we have is the popcorn and the orange juice, so people will start eating and drinking that. We have the shark hats, and they usually sell out very, very quickly, and so do the copper band toys as well. I like to try and keep as much of the gift shop in as we can, but the food and drink, I have found that it's best to replace the lower level stuff with the higher level stuff once it becomes available. People don't seem to mind whether they have... Well, actually no, people tend to go for the cheapest option, with the food and drink at least. So if you limit them to having only the most expensive options, then it doesn't actually lose you prestige or lose you any happiness or anything. It's just what's available, so they're happy to take what's available. I'm just gonna make sure somebody comes up for this, thank you very much. But it means that you get a higher profit margin on that, and I think we will see in a couple of days just what a change this has made. And hopefully as we get the talks as well in the next couple of days, then people will be forced over here in this general direction, and they'll be able to get food and drink and the gift shops even more. Just looking at the supplies on this, the actual daily totals, we may need a couple more in over here just to even everything out. So let's add in, scroll up, all the way up. We want orange juice there, we want a bin in the centre, and then we want popcorn on the side there. That means anybody that's hungry or thirsty over here can also get something. And maybe it's good to add in a shark hat. No, how good are we on shark hats? So we're okay on that, and we're okay on that. It's just the popcorn and orange juice. That seems to say to me that we have... Well, there's not many people that are thirsty. But we don't have any other method of them getting drink. It's just not many of them, literally not many of them are thirsty. So is there anything we can do to actually increase their thirst? I don't know that. So if you know that there is anything that we can do to increase people's thirst. I remember in Theme Park, the original Theme Park back in the 90s, one of my favourite early games. I loved that game, I played it to death. And one of the things you could do in that was if you increased the amount of salt in the burgers up to a ridiculously high level, it would make people really, really thirsty. And then they would buy more drinks. But then if you added loads and loads of ice to your drinks, then you got a much higher profit margin on the drinks themselves. So you could play the system like that. But I don't know if there's anything like that in this game. It's not really something I've ever really been invested in, although maybe today we will actually get this. Yes, we do. Excellent. There we go. So yeah, if there's anything like that in this game that you know of, or any little tips and tricks like that, please let me know down in the comment section below, because I'd be really, really interested in knowing the kind of minute little details you can change. Maybe with the different profits on these, if there's a best way of making sure people definitely go for these ones with the profits that you're making on them. Any little tips like that would be brilliant. Please let me know down in the comments below. So it looks like we are now making a decent amount of money per day, over 1,000, up to 1,000, nearly 1,500 on some days. So I'm happy now to let this run for a while, build up enough money. We've already got enough money now to get at least one of the Uber filters. So what I want to do between episodes is try and build up this to the point where we've got a really, really good amount of filtration on both networks, so we're not worried about them at all. So I think that is where I'm going to end it for today. We've added in this big tank over here, which has really boosted our prestige, got us over into rank 9, and we've also completed one of the quests as well. I believe we don't... oh yeah, we have one more quest here, which will be for chrysal tanks. So I think next episode we will be looking at chrysal tanks, which would be nice. I really do like the chrysal tanks. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.